Hidden deep in the mountains of Dominica lies a lake so volatile that its waters churn at near boiling point, over 180 degrees Fahrenheit on average, and sometimes even higher. This is the Boiling Lake, the second largest hot lake on Earth. Step too close to its unstable rim, and the scalding vapors could strip skin in seconds. Fall in, and survival is impossible. From a distance, it resembles a great cauldron shrouded in rising mist, but up close, it is a natural death trap, the Earth's very own kettle of destruction. The Boiling Lake sits within Morne Trois Pitons National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Dominica, a small island nation in the Caribbean. Formed inside a volcanic crater, the lake is essentially a flooded fumarole, a vent connected directly to the Earth's magma-heated interior. Beneath its surface, superheated gases bubble up constantly, keeping the water in a perpetual rolling boil. Though local Kalinago people knew of the lake for centuries, it was first documented by Europeans in 1870, when two English explorers, Henry Alfred Nichols and Edmund Watt, reached it after a grueling trek through Dominica's dense rainforest. Their description stunned the outside world: a 200-foot wide pool of gray, seething water, its surface broken by violent bubbles and clouds of steam rising high into the air. From that moment, the Boiling Lake became a geological wonder, one of only a handful of hot lakes on Earth. But behind the fascination lay a dangerous reality. This was no ordinary crater pond. It was a living reminder of the raw, untamed power beneath Dominica's soil. By the mid-20th century, the Boiling Lake was both a scientific marvel and a growing tourist attraction. Adventurous travelers braved the 7-mile trek through rainforest and sulfur springs to witness its bubbling fury. Geologists, too, studied it closely, noting its average temperature between 180 degrees and 197 degrees at the edges, with the center believed to be even hotter. Its size only added to its mystique. At roughly 200 feet across and over 200 feet deep, it is second only to New Zealand's Frying Pan Lake, making it one of the world's largest hot lakes. Dominica embraced it as a natural treasure, featuring it in tourism campaigns and proudly presenting it as proof of the island's volcanic heart. Yet even during this period of celebration, danger was ever present. Unlike hot springs, which remain stable, the Boiling Lake has always been unpredictable. Its water levels can suddenly drop, exposing steaming fumaroles, only to refill days later with even more violent boiling. For Dominicans, it was a source of national pride, but also a reminder that beneath their island's beauty lurked immense geological risk. The Boiling Lake's most alarming trait is its instability. On several occasions, it has seemingly disappeared, its waters draining mysteriously into the earth. The first recorded incident occurred in 1880, just 10 years after its discovery. Villagers and scientists watched in astonishment as the lake's surface sank dramatically, leaving only a muddy crater with steaming vents. Over time, it refilled, resuming its furious boil. Nearly a century later, in 1979, another sudden draining coincided with Dominica's catastrophic Hurricane David, which devastated the island. The lake dropped to dangerous levels again, releasing massive sulfurous gases and making the surrounding valley hazardous for weeks. The most recent and longest disturbance began in 2005. Over the course of 2 years, the Boiling Lake repeatedly drained and refilled, baffling scientists and alarming locals. By 2007, researchers confirmed that underground geothermal vents were unstable, causing the water to vanish into hidden fractures before re-emerging. Temperatures fluctuated wildly during this time, with measurements swinging from scalding hot to barely lukewarm, proof of the lake's fragile equilibrium. These fluctuations were not just curiosities, they were deadly warnings. If pressure built too quickly, scientists feared, the lake could one day erupt explosively, sending boiling water, mud, and toxic gases cascading down the valley. For those who dare approach, The boiling lake is not just dangerous because of its temperature. The very environment around it is hostile. The lake is perched within the aptly named Valley of Desolation, where sulfur vents hiss from the ground. Streams run warm with dissolved minerals, and the stench of rotten eggs hangs in the air. Hikers must be cautious, as the ground itself can collapse into unseen fumaroles. Fatalities have occurred. Local reports mention accidents where hikers venture too close to unstable ground, falling into scalding streams or collapsing earth near the lake. In one tragic case in the early 2000s, a guide was fatally burned after stepping into a hidden vent. The boiling lake does not forgive mistakes. The collapse is not physical but human. It is the erosion of safety in the pursuit of wonder. For tourists, the hike remains a bucket list adventure, but one misstep can mean disaster. For Dominica, the lake is both a blessing and a curse, a symbol of the island's uniqueness, but also a constant reminder of its vulnerability to volcanic fury. The boiling lake may be extraordinary, but it is not alone. Across the world, other waters carry the same blend of beauty and danger. In New Zealand, the legendary Frying Pan Lake dwarfs Dominica's version in size. Stretching across more than 38 acres, it is the largest hot lake on Earth, formed after a massive volcanic eruption in 1886. Its steaming waters bubble at temperatures between 120 and 140 degrees. Tourists flock to see it, but its size makes it less violent and less deadly than Dominica's cauldron. Half a world away in Iceland, the geothermal pool of Grímsvötn hides beneath Europe's largest glacier. Fed by volcanic activity, it is the source of sudden, catastrophic floods known as Jökullaups. When pressure builds beneath the ice, torrents of water can burst forth without warning, reshaping the landscape in hours. Both places show the same truth as Dominica's boiling lake. Where fire meets water, beauty becomes peril. Yet neither has matched the Caribbean site's haunting mix of accessibility and instability. What makes the boiling lake unique is not just its temperature, but its behavior. Few lakes on Earth can disappear overnight, draining into the earth like water slipping through a crack. Fewer still can return days later, boiling even more violently than before. Scientists believe this instability is caused by fractures in the volcanic rock below. The lake is essentially a lid over an underground pressure cooker. When cracks open, water drains away. When they close, superheated steam pushes the water back up, sometimes explosively. This volatility sets Dominica's lake apart. Where others remain steady, the boiling lake is a constant gamble. To stand at its rim is to watch nature's fury held back by chance, a reminder that the earth itself decides how long the calm will last. Today, the boiling lake remains one of Dominica's most famous landmarks. It sits at the heart of Morne Trois Pitons National Park, drawing thousands of visitors each year despite the grueling hike required to reach it. Tour operators still guide travelers through the Valley of Desolation, where sulfur vents hiss and streams run warm with minerals. The final view, the gray churning lake cloaked in mist, is unforgettable. But danger is never far. Signs warn tourists to stay back, and guides remind hikers that the ground can collapse without warning. For Dominica, the lake is both a treasure and a risk. It fuels ecotourism and scientific research, but also highlights the island's vulnerability. Earthquakes, hurricanes, or volcanic unrest could destabilize the system again, repeating the mysterious drainings of 1880, 1979, and 2005-2007. Even in the 2020s, scientists monitor it closely, noting fluctuations in temperature and water level. The threat of a sudden freatic eruption, an explosion of steam, water, and mud, remains real, though unpredictable. Looking ahead, the future of the boiling lake is uncertain. Will it remain a spectacular natural wonder, or will it one day erupt with catastrophic force? Geologists warn that Dominica lies within one of the most volcanically active zones in the Caribbean. The island is home to 9 active volcanic centers, more than any other island in the region. A large-scale eruption could destabilize the boiling lake permanently, turning it from a bubbling attraction into a weapon of destruction. At the same time, tourism continues to grow. Social media has amplified the lake's allure, drawing adventurers from around the world eager to stand at the edge of Earth's kettle. But as more people come, the risks multiply. Dominica faces the delicate balance of promoting its wonders while safeguarding lives. The lake itself offers no answers. It continues to bubble, drain, and refill, following rhythms only the Earth understands. The threat lingers, not constant but always possible. The boiling lake is a paradox, at once a jewel of the Caribbean and a lurking danger in the Valley of Desolation. It is awe-inspiring to see, yet terrifying to approach. Its beauty conceals its violence. Unlike disasters that strike once and leave ruins, the boiling lake's story is ongoing, written in every bubble that breaks its surface. Each mist rising from its waters is a reminder that Dominica's soil is alive, that power sleeps beneath its mountains, and that paradise can turn deadly in an instant. Standing on its rim, one feels the pull of two truths: that this is one of nature's great wonders, and that it is also one of its great warnings. So what do you think? Will the boiling lake remain a wonder of the Caribbean? Or will it one day erupt in fury? Could this cauldron become a tourist paradise forever? Or is it destined to end as a tomb? And would you dare to stand on the rim of the Earth's kettle of death,